Hello there!
And welcome back to another video! This week I'm going to be taking you guys through the process of making a little animatic type thing. So the backstory behind this is that I'm in my last year of college for advertising, and this year we have a portfolio class that we have to do, and I had the choice between business portfolio and creative portfolio, and obviously I chose creative because guess what, I'm a creative. And yeah, so our prof for creative portfolio gave us a couple starting points, and of course we have a couple requirements for the course, but one of the starting points that he gave us was to write a love letter for a brand, and it's obviously a love letter for a brand that you actually love. And that gave me the inspiration of doing a little series of ads for Pentel, and I chose Pentel because I haven't really been using that many Pigma Micron pens lately, and while I was in Japan I got this one Pentel sort of kind of brush pen, but not really, that I really enjoyed. And just the first week of school where my prof gave us the kind of lowdown of what we had to do for creative portfolio, I'd been sharing with my design prof, which is not the same as the creative portfolio prof. I'd been showing my design prof the Pentel pen, so he also really liked it. So when the whole letter to a brand that you love came up, that was something that was on my mind. So I decided, well, I had the idea to do this little series of 15-second videos that's comparing other sort of inking tools to the Pentel pen. So it's sort of kind of framing the other inking tools as scary and not worth it, and not working and doesn't do what you want sort of thing, compared to the Pentel brush. And it's going to be kind of ambitious in terms of sound design and camera angles and that sort of thing, but I think I can do it. But the foundation of that whole video idea is something that needs to get inked, and so for my something that needs to get inked, I decided to do this little guy, and I decided to name him Jolly because look at him, he's jolly. It's a lot more cartoony of a style than what I normally do. I'm normally a lot more anime inspired or comic book inspired, but this is very just simple cartoony, but I feel like it's more accessible. It's kind of like children's book cartoony, I would say, but I don't think it's going to be as jarring. It's going to be kind of easier to digest than something that's super anime or super comic book or something like that. And it's also kind of just easier on me because the idea is that I'll be it'll start off as the static first image that I drew, and then later on, as the inking supplies don't work as planned, it will go into this, right now you can see he's oh, what's this? Oh no, I'm scared kind of thing. And then it goes a little bit more exaggerated and a little bit disappointed. One of my ideas is to do a big ballpoint pen, the really skinny, really cheap ones that if you haven't used it in a while, it's not going to draw until you kind of scratch it on something. So I'm banking on not having used that pen for a hot minute, so when I start to try to draw, or if not, I can fake it by putting light pressure or something, so that it won't ink in the slightest. So he'll be disappointed, oh, I was looking forward to getting inked, and now I'm just not inked, not as in getting tattooed, I mean inked as in a pencil drawing getting inked. And you might think, oh, if it's supposed to mimic a pencil drawing, why are we in Photoshop? And that's because I just felt like doing it in Photoshop. I'm going to print it out, and also have to print out multiple versions of it, because if I mess up one take, then that paper's not really useful anymore. And before you start sounding off in the comments, I am going to reuse all the paper that I use to make this video. I use it for scrap paper, I use it for swatching paper. It's not going to go in the bin or anything like that. I am planning on keeping these papers to use for future projects or whatever I really need. That you always need a scrap of paper, even if I just use it to fold airplanes and annoy my roommate, I'll use it for something. But yeah, I've never really done anything that's super animation here. I think I did a pixel animation a really long time ago on my channel, but this is a little bit different. It's not really an animation, it's more like an animatic or a storyboard. It's not going to be colored either, because the idea is that this mimics a pencil sketch. So yeah, that's basically the idea behind this. And you can see me flipping through the expressions really quickly. At the end I do have the little slower, more polished, that you can see with a white background instead of a grey one as well, so you can see all the little frames that I've done. I might end up doing a couple more depending on how filming goes. I do feel quite confident that I'll be able to draw more versions of Jolly here, because I did keep his design quite simplistic. I kind of like that I drew a beard and like a baseball cap, because I don't usually draw that kind of thing, but I don't know, it also seems kind of Canadian to me. And the like bubbly design, I tried to keep everything kind of soft and rounded shaped, because it's, I don't know, I just kind of really like this style. But yeah, honestly, I've had this idea for around a month to do this like ad campaign thing for my creative portfolio, but I've been procrastinating on just like getting it started. So I feel really proud of myself right now for getting it. Like, this is technically just the prep work. I've got a lot of filming work ahead of me, I've got a lot of editing work ahead of me, but I don't know, I like my concept and I like my drawing, and I think that it'll add a lot of personality. I do kind of worry that I won't be able to get the stop motion aspect of this done the way that I want to, basically, because the idea is that the frames are going to change, but they're physical pieces of paper, so I'm going to have to stop the video, switch out the paper, make sure the paper's in the right position, and then make it so my hand or the ink pen or whatever fits into what I wanted to. So I'm going to probably rely on changing the angle to make sure that his switching poses doesn't get too jarring. Like, it's not like I can insert in between frames. It's not like I can do just pure stop motion, because if I do pure stop motion, then I'd have to like stop motion my hands and stuff, and I don't have enough hands to like stop and start recording, or taking pictures or whatever with my hands slowly inching into the frame. I just don't have the like infrastructure to make it fully stop motion. So yeah, it's going to be an adventure for sure. I might rope a friend or something into helping me with the filming stuff, but with this foundation being at the state it is, I feel quite happy with it, at least. So yeah, just let me know what you think. I do plan on potentially posting the finished little ad campaigns on my Instagram or something, because I've put a lot of work into it and it's not that different from my usual content. I mean, it sort of is, it's an ad for a brand that's not paying me, but yeah, I don't know, I feel like Mr. Jolly here is quite a cute little character, and I don't know, maybe I might like do a version of him that's like fully painted and rendered just for the funs of it. I do picture him being like dark reddish brown hair with his suspenders and like, what's the word, like forest green trousers. And I don't know, I haven't really thought too much about him. I think he's cute, and right here he's blushing. I'm pretty sure this is the last one that I worked on. So like, my idea goes that the first one that I drew where he has his hand up is the like kind of static version. That's the one that's like not animated, and then when the inks don't work, there's the other three things that I have. And then there's a like, oh, I'm so excited, maybe, or like he gets his hopes up or whatever. And then this one's like when he finally gets inked by the proper brush that he enjoys. So yeah, that's essentially my plan, and I am kind of doing a little bit of double dipping by trying to do my coursework and my YouTube stuff in the same sort of project. But you know what, it's like, I'm really busy right now, and I'm still keeping my YouTube upload schedule, and I've started using TikTok, which, don't ask me about it, I'm working on it, alright, and my Instagram game is not the best, but yeah, basically I'm juggling a lot of things right now. So if I can make something that I do for school work for YouTube or something, then I'm going to make it so. But here we have the final frames. We'll go through it twice, and then it's the exit card. So thank you very much for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, let me know how you liked Jolly, let me know if you're interested in seeing how the finished ads turn out, and yeah, I'll see you all next week.